Welcome to the Committee on Children. We are starting and then we're going to go into a quick recess and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you. Hi, we're calling the. Sorry, my bad. Okay, starting again. We're calling the Children's Committee meeting to order. And just a few announcements. The meeting is being live streamed on YouTube. Please have your mic muted if you're not speaking.
Please do not use the chat function on Zoom, as this is a public meeting. Please raise your hand on Zoom by clicking reactions and then raise hand to be recognized. When voting, the clerk must be able to see your face as you speak. When the clerk calls your name, please state your full name so Zoom highlights your face and then cast your vote. If you are in person, please speak with your microphone at all times, including when making or seconding a motion, so the clerk can identify you. Thank you. It's really wonderful to be here with you all, and I look forward to getting started.
Thank you very much, Senator. And this is the first committee meeting of the short session. Let me give a brief introduction as to what we're doing today so that the audience here and those watching at home can understand. This is a meeting to raise concepts. The reason why we raise concepts is so that we can move forward. We're saying essentially that these are the items that the committee would like to discuss. Normally, when we move items forward, when they are simply concepts, it would be because these concepts deserve to have their day. It would open discussions during the legislative session. So anything here would be then drafted and going to public hearing. I believe, as the chair, that in this committee, we should have open and honest discussions about the items on this and every agenda. Therefore, I do, before we begin this meeting, I want to let everybody know that I will be voting yes on every single item here on this agenda because I believe it is important for these concepts to be discussed. Is there anything else you would like to say, Madam Chair?
No, I think you covered it beautifully.
Thank you so much. I would like to give a moment to my wonderful Vice Chair, Representative Kitt. Would you like to say a few words?
No, I agree. I think you covered that beautifully. Even though I may disagree with some of these bills in concept, I will vote to make sure that they get a hearing.
Because of wonderful discourse that is important to the legislative and democratic process. Am I right, Representative?
As usual, you are.
That's being recorded. You said as usual and it's recorded. Senator, would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so happy to be here and I look forward to working with my colleagues to continue to make and examine good concepts and legislation for the upcoming session. Thanks so much.
Thank you much, Senator, and thank you as always for being a part of this process. Can I please have, moving on to item number 3, concepts to raise. Can I please have a motion to raise, oh, excuse me? Oh, my apologies. I just figured because Ann was not here. Hi, Representative Dauphinais, would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for remembering me. I'm sorry I can't be there with you. I have a sick grandchild here at home, but I'm happy to get started, and good afternoon to everybody.
Good afternoon, Representative. And can I say that there is never a day that will go by, Representative, that I won't remember you. So don't worry about that. May I please have a motion to raise concepts items number 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8? Do I have that motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any discussions on items 1, 5, 6, 7, or 8? With no discussion, I'd like to call for a voice vote. Oh, I'm sorry, you do, ma'am? Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. If you wouldn't mind, just so the public can know, would you just mind giving a brief overview on each one of those before we take it for a vote?
Absolutely. Number 1, an act establishing a task force to study costs relating to certain programs and services for children and families. This essentially would be a task force to look at what would be the difference in cost measures for certain budget line items and programs relating to children and families. If we were to move away from the budgeting process of a multiplier of the federal poverty level, and instead using numbers that are appropriate solely to the state of Connecticut, which would be known as the ALICE numbers. ALICE numbers are asset limited, income constrained, and employed. That is basically the number that you need to be able to live here in the state of Connecticut. So are there any further questions about item number 1? Seeing none, item number 5, an act establishing a task force to study the responsiveness of state agencies to child sex abuse issues. This essentially would be looking at all areas of government that come in contact with children to see if there is further education needed for those roles in power and people who are working at those agencies to ensure that they understand, recognize, and that they are able to work towards ending child sexual abuse and keep our children safe. Are there any questions related to that? Seeing none, item number 6, an act concerning certain home visits required by the Department of Children and Families. At this time, the concept is essentially to require that any family who is in the DCF, if they have an open case with DCF, if they have substance abuse issues, that those visits would be solely in person. I would like to make note that to the best of my knowledge, that this is already what the Department of Children and Families does. However, we have to recognize that any good work that happens within the department but is not set in state statute is not guaranteed to stay if another commissioner takes over or if another administration takes over. So we will be looking at important items to codify, and this is one of them. Are there any existing questions on that? Seeing none, I see a lot of people just going with it. I appreciate that. Number 7, an act concerning investigations conducted by the Office of Early Childhood. Right now, this is looking at the way that investigations done by OEC for licensure of camps and daycares, if it is transparent enough for a layperson to view those investigations out and outcomes, to understand where they're bringing their kid, essentially. It's just about transparency. We will be working closely with OEC, who has already said that they are looking forward to doing this work, and they're going to be doing it in conjunction with us. Are there any questions? Great. Moving on to item 8, an act concerning the recommendations of the Department of Children and Families relating to background checks, certain subsidies, urgent crisis centers, and departmental records. This is a bill we did last year, but it didn't get over the finish line. So just to refresh your memory, there is some items relating to placing a child with kin and being able to fast track that for the background checks. There are also about ambulance bays at the urgent crisis centers, being able to have ambulances come there, departmental records regarding, I believe it's Solnit. We, as a committee a few years ago, transferred licensure from DCF to DPH for Solnit. In order to have that tied up nicely, there needs to be in statute the ability for them to get some of these records. And that may or may not be it in its entirety. However, once again, you will see that language prior to the legislative process working its way through. So any final questions on those? Seeing none, I will call for a voice vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? With none opposed, thank you very much. We're going to keep votes open. Moving on to item number 2, an act concerning certain flame retardant chemicals in children's products. Can I have a motion?
I move, so move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. This is really just looking at, remember, this is a concept, guys. So there's not actual language in the bill, but we would like to look at flame retardant chemicals in children's products. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, I have been told that this is, oh, okay. Madam, if you could say it out loud, because I'm missing when you just raise a finger.
That's okay.
Thank you. Go ahead,
Thank you,
Representative.
Madam Chair. Just a quick question. I know this bill has been raised before in the past, and it actually did not come out of Children's Committee, and it was in Public Health, and I think it passed out of Public Health. And I think it's been raised a few times, maybe back in 2019 and prior to that. I'm just wondering why it's not in Public Health. And if we had to do a public hearing on this, if this bill was referred to public health, would they have the opportunity to also to have a public hearing? I know it's a short session, so.
To answer your question, no, that if it is referred to public health, they will not have a public hearing on it. But also, this bill actually began in children's, I want to say 2017. Yes, when Representative Boyd was the vice chair. This bill began in 2017, and I believe it actually might have even been before then, but none of us were in the legislature at that time. So this is originally a children's bill, and if it went to public health, it was because the people in public health actually wanted to have that discussion as well. However, it is within the purview of this committee, and it is focused on children's products, so it will not require an automatic referral to public health. Please, Senator.
If I could also add, I believe that at the time it was a select committee and could not raise bills, and now we are in a position where we can raise our bills. So
Okay, thank you. And do we know, did this back at that time, did it go to public health? Do you know?
To the best of my knowledge, I just don't know. I do know that this committee has heard this bill numerous times. I suspect some of the issues raised may be the same, but with new chairmanships, we may be able to
new
come.
understandings.
Yeah, and new understandings, we may be able to come to something that was different than the original language. But right now, it's just a concept.
I understand. So we already have, I'm assuming we already have language from
No, ma'am,
prior
we
that
do
we're gonna
not.
basically start from?
No, ma'am, we do not.
We do not. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
You're very welcome. Are there any other questions? Seeing none. Oh, Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Is this bill specific to removing chemicals in clothing or putting it in? It's just trying to understand, are we trying to bypass federal regulations here and make our own state law, or what is this about?
Madam Ranking Member, this is not a bill. It's
Okay,
simply a concept.
The concept.
So the concept is that we are looking into flame retardant chemicals in children's products. Right now, that is the entirety of the concept.
And that's the only explanation you can give.
We don't have language yet because it's a concept.
Okay, well, I'm assuming somebody came up with the concept because based on something that they were concerned about. So I just wondered what the concern was.
I think the concern is flame retardant chemicals in children's products. How the committee decides we want to tackle that issue will be done before the bill goes to public hearing so that it is put online for an understanding. We're just not there yet.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? Given that explanation, I am going to try for a voice vote. Is there any disagreement with a voice vote? Okay, a roll call vote has been asked. So please, Mr. Clerk.
On the motion to raise agenda item 2, an act concerning certain flame retardant chemicals in children's products. Rep. Linehan,
Representative Linehan votes yes.
Senator Marr,
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Kitt,
Representative Kitt votes yes.
Senator Kushner, Representative Dauphiné,
Representative Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Seminara,
Senator Seminara votes yes.
Senator Anwar, Representative Arnone,
Representative Arnone votes yes.
Representative Boyd. Can you please speak that into the microphone?
Boyd, aye.
Thank you. Senator Cohen,
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Yes.
Representative Hayes,
Yes.
Representative Lanou,
Yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco,
No.
Representative Napoli, Representative Pizzuto,
Representative Pizzuto votes yes.
Representative Roberts,
Representative Roberts votes yes.
Representative Sanchez, Representative Welander,
Representative Welander votes yes.
that concludes the vote.
Wait, no, Senator Anwar votes yes. Sorry about that.
Thank you. That concludes the vote.
Thank you very much. Votes will be held open until 3 p.m. Item number 5, an act establishing a task force to study the responsiveness. Oh, I'm sorry, we already did that. My apologies. Item number 3, an act concerning child sexual abuse material. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
May I have a second? It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Representative Master Francesco.
Thank you. Can you please give us an explanation on this one? When I look at it, it looks like it's something that probably should go out of the Judiciary Committee because we're looking to change some kind of laws, but if you wouldn't mind giving a explanation on what this is about, I'd appreciate it.
Again, it's a concept, so I don't have exact language, but the concept is to look at our statutes and how we refer to them within statute. Right now, it is known as child pornography. However, pornography is now known around the world to almost be a form of entertainment. The sexual abuse of children is never entertainment. Therefore, we are looking into the possibility of changing the language that we use in statute away from child pornography and going and calling it child sexual abuse material. We are not looking at changing any of the laws surrounding it. We're not looking at, increasing penalties, although I really wish the Committee on Children could look into increasing penalties because that is absolutely something I would support wholeheartedly. But that is not the purview of this committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just by looking at it, just basic on your explanation, I think it does actually could change the intent of the language and what it is meaning in the law. So it seems to me that's something that probably should go to the Judiciary Committee, but
Your response is noted, but this is certainly something that we're going to take a look at. Right now, it's a concept.
no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other explanation or rather questions? And I see none online. Thank you. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
On the motion to raise agenda item 3, an act concerning child sexual abuse material. Representative Linehan,
Representative Linehan votes yes.
Senator Marr,
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Kit,
Representative Kit votes yes.
Senator Kushner, Representative Dauphiné,
I will be a no. I think this should go to judiciary. Thank you.
Senator Seminara,
Senator Seminara is also a no because I do believe this belongs in judiciary.
Senator Anwar, Representative Arnone,
Representative Arnone votes yes.
Representative Boyd,
Boyd, aye.
Senator Cohen,
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Yes.
Representative Hayes,
No.
Representative Lanu,
No.
Representative Mastro Francesco,
No.
Representative Napoli, Representative Pizzuto,
Representative Pizzuto votes no. I think it belongs in the judiciary. Thank you.
Representative Roberts,
Representative Roberts votes yes.
Representative Sanchez, Representative Welander,
Representative Welander votes yes.
thank you.
Mr. Clerk, I see Representative Napoli is here. Would you recall him, please?
Representative Napoli,
Did you hear him? Yeah, we don't hear you, Representative Napoli. It doesn't say you're muted, but there must be some issue. So what we'll have you do, Representative, is we'll have you restart your Zoom and work with our clerk for bills that you may have missed, sir, but we will make sure to get your vote and have it recorded. Thank you very much, Representative. Moving on to item number 4, an act requiring child care centers, group child care homes, and family child care homes to carry liability insurance. May I have a motion?
Motion.
In a second? Is there discussion?
I would just kindly ask the chairwoman to please explain the bill further, or the concept, I should
Right.
say. Further.
I absolutely will. However, I believe it's self-explanatory. We're looking at whether or not childcare centers and group childcare homes should carry liability insurance. I mean, that's the entirety of the concept at this moment. Because right now they're not required. And it is my belief as co-chair that the discussion needs to be had as to whether or not the need to carry liability insurance to protect not only the children in their care, but also the owners of the daycare centers, if that outweighs the cost. This is something that we need to have a discussion out in the open. Are there any other questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none.
Madam
Mr.
Chair, I don't think you're seeing my hand, but I'm sorry.
I'm really not, and it must be because of the placement of the lights. I apologize. Go ahead. You could just chime in anytime.
Yeah, I have a concern about this concept making, I always oppose mandates, and this looks like to me like a mandate on businesses that are taking care of our children and already struggling. We're struggling to have enough childcare across the state. And I would add that I might be more amendable to make it something that would notify families and parents that bring their children there that they may not have liability insurance at those places of business. So I would definitely not be, I would be opposed to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. However, you know that, being in this committee, that was one of the discussions. However, this is a concept, and we want to ensure that the concept moves forward as broad as possible, so that we can ensure that we have enough of the conversation with as many people as necessary. So that's why this is a concept, and there is no language associated with it just yet. So I just want to keep reiterating that, because a concept gives us the ability to discuss it openly, and then we can help determine what final language will be. So a lot of these discussions will be broad, but it's purposeful. So thank you very much, Madam Representative Lanu.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. I want to just echo what Representative Dauphiné, said. I have a lot of their same concerns. I come from southeastern Connecticut. We have a child care crisis in our neck of the woods, just like many places in our state. We're looking for opportunities to expand child care access, ways of trying to get more people into that industry, but we want to do it in a safe way, a meaningful way. So I do understand the balance. However, I just want to be very clear. I do have concerns in big neon letters as far as going forward with this. But I'm willing to listen. But I think at the end of the day, I think we may have to, knowledge is power. So I would lean more towards informing the parents ahead of time. Yes, there's liability insurance. No, there's not liability insurance. Make your decision. However, I do understand that this is a concept, so I am willing to listen. I'm going to vote yes for today's purposes, but I also want to make sure my comments are clear that I do have concerns as far as last thing I want to do is disenfranchise good people that may be on tight budgets from perhaps getting to childcare. So we gotta tread lightly, but I am certainly willing to listen to testimony, and we can decide accordingly. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative. And I would like to thank you for your thoughtful, balanced approach and your openness and your understanding and willingness to have this open discussion in a forum that can have everybody discuss that with us. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Senator Marr.
Thank you, Representative Linehan. I would like to just say that in our first discussion about this, we raised some of the same issues around the need for childcare, the increasing the ability of people to get childcare. And what we came to is the need to hear from the public, what their feelings are about it, to have an idea, but we can't even do that until we raise the concept. So that is why we're moving forward, despite the fact that we also have had those same discussions. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator. And just to
Madam Chair?
piggyback on that,
sorry.
sure. But just to piggyback on that, I think it's also important to note that when we are asking maybe low-income women to start a home-based daycare and liability insurance isn't included, there should be also a mechanism for them to understand that at some point, if something happens on their property, someone could sue and take their home. So when we're talking about the impediment to starting a home-based daycare, what about the impediment to living the rest of your life owning your home? Because maybe that could be taken away from you. That's why it's important to have this broad concept so we can hear from everybody involved. I do ask that the committee goes in with an open mind to see from both sides. Representative Pizzuto.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You made a few of my points, and I appreciate that. My concern is lots of times a business opens, you have an existing umbrella policy, which maybe we can look into. But I also am afraid of an additional tax preventing businesses from ever opening. And we're stretched to the max now, as you know. So, I'm for the concept, but what are the due diligence behind it? Yeah, thank you.
I'd also like to thank you, sir, for your balanced approach and your willingness to talk and listen. So thank you. Representative Wielander.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to actually just comment on the latest comment that you made, just to confirm that this is not about impeding businesses from succeeding. This is about ensuring that the people who are providing this necessary service for our entire economy and for every family are actually protected, and that we are exploring as many different options as we can that would provide protection for them, as well as potential savings on different types of insurance coverages that they may have already had to purchase. So I appreciate the broad concept, and I really do look forward to having this discussion with the rest of the committee.
Thank you very much, Representative Wielander. And it's shaping up to be quite a debate for concepts. Oh, yes, Representative, please add to the conversation, sir.
Thank you. No, I do see everybody's concern with the concept, but like you said, it is a concept. We'll get into the information soon, but in my eyes, can't look at this as a bar, a club, whatever the case may be, because those do have other liabilities and stuff. We're looking at it like a home. And whereas we're looking at it in the same sense of a actual human and a baby. So when we're putting our minds together, just put that in the top of your mind. You got to drop your kid off for work. You're putting yourself in that position to trust that person. So when you think about that, we're thinking about, regardless if it's a price to pay, is a price to pay for a life. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. And may I say, you are a snazzy dresser today. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, Representative Master-Francesco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, we are having a very lively debate today on concepts. When I look at a concept, I look at my values and my principles. And when a concept just sticks out to me that it's more government control and government intrusion into somebody's life, and that the government knows what's best for people, that's where I have my concern. I don't even really want to hear it. And that's why I'm a no today on this. If people want to bring their child to a daycare center and that daycare center doesn't have liability insurance, it's the responsibility of the person bringing them there to ask those questions, kind of like we do with a contractor. You're doing work on my home. Are you licensed and insured? as opposed to the government being big government, that they know absolutely what's best for people. And that's the things that bother me when I see concepts. And I get it. It's a concept, it's a discussion. But when I hear a discussion based on a government mandate and a government knowing what's best for you and that you can't make your own decisions, that's where my issue is. So I appreciate the live discussion today. I think it's great. I just have a different perspective on it. I guess obviously it will go through and I will hear the discussion, but I appreciate all the conversation on it today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Representative. And I will say that while you and I are often on opposite sides of a debate, I have a great respect for you because I do believe that you hold tight to your beliefs and your value system. And while I really don't want to start an issue based on what you said, that this is a vote for your value system, for government not to be intrusive, I would just like to take a moment to remind you that votes will still be open and that voting for your value system, you may want to reconsider your vote on item number 3 if you wanted to continue in that regard. Thank you very much, Madam. Are there any other questions? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
On the motion to raise item 4, an act requiring child care centers, group child care homes, and family child care homes to carry liability insurance. Representative Linehan.
Representative Linehan votes yes.
Senator Marr.
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Kitt.
Representative Kitt votes yes.
Senator Kushner. Representative Dauphiné.
Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Seminara.
Senator Seminara votes yes.
Senator Anwar. Representative Arnone.
Representative Arnone votes yes.
Representative Boyd.
Boyd, aye.
Senator Cohen.
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Comey.
Yes.
Representative Hayes.
Yes.
Representative Lanou.
Yes.
Representative Mastro Francesco.
No.
Representative Napoli. Representative Pizzuto.
Yes.
Representative Roberts.
Representative Roberts votes yes.
Representative Sanchez. Representative Wieelander.
Representative Wieelander votes yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. As a reminder, votes are held open until, I believe I said 3 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock. Item number 9, an act concerning the recommendations of the Department of Children and Families relating to terminology used in certain statutes and identified adoptions. I believe this again is, oh, may I have a motion?
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
Yeah, it's been moved and seconded. Senator, can you give the background on this one, ma'am?
Certainly. Thank you, Representative. And so in regards to this, there are certain statutes that identify children, and in them in particular, there is one that has not been looked at since 1975, and it does not speak to children in a way that we think about children these days. We think about children in a very different way, and it is pejorative in some instances. And this is just one of the statutes we would want to take a look at.
That was brilliantly done, Senator. Thank you so much. Are there any questions? Representative Master Francesco, I am going to direct your questions to the senator.
Thank you. No, I just want to make a comment. I believe we discussed this last year. I believe it was on the agenda. I'm going to vote no today, but I'm going to reserve my comments for maybe when we vote on the bill or maybe when during a public hearing. Thank you, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, just in response to your comment before about my vote on number 3, I clearly voted no on that bill because I believe it should go to Judiciary Committee. And I don't appreciate somebody questioning my values and saying that I should change my vote on number 3 because of values. I never indicated anybody on this committee, that they're not voting their values. I was talking specifically to me, and I clearly mentioned that that bill should go to Judiciary Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other questions? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, will you call the roll?
On the motion to raise item number 9, an act concerning the recommendations of the Department of Children and Families relating to terminology used in certain statutes and identified adoptions. Representative Linehan,
Representative Linehan votes yes.
Senator Marr,
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Kit,
Representative Kit votes yes.
Senator Kushner, Representative Dauphiné,
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Seminara,
Senator Seminara votes yes.
Senator Anwar, Representative Arnone,
Representative Arnone votes yes.
Representative Boyd,
Boyd, aye.
Senator Cohen,
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Representative Comey votes yes.
Representative Hayes,
No.
Representative Lanu,
No.
Representative Mastro Francesco,
No.
Representative Napoli, Representative Pizzuto,
Yes.
Representative Roberts,
Representative Roberts votes yes.
Representative Sanchez,
Representative Sanchez votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Again, votes are held open till 3. May I have a motion on items number 10, 11, 12, and 13, an act concerning children's programs, an act concerning children's health, an act concerning children's safety, and an act concerning children's welfare. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Item has been moved and seconded. These are bills that we move forward with the possibility of putting language in based on our public hearing process. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Representative Dauphiné.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as you know, I always vote no on what I call dummy bills or shell bills. They have no language in them at this point. We have no idea what they're going to be about, so I will be a no. Thank you for that time.
Thank you very much, Madam Ranking Member. Just for the understanding of the committee, these are simply concepts. And we do know that any concepts that we put in there would be what's based on the title and about a children's program, children's health, children's safety, or children's welfare. Especially in the short session, a lot of these issues come up during a public hearing, and these are written in response to public hearings. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, will you call the roll?
On the motion to raise agenda items 10, an act concerning children's programs, agenda item 11, an act concerning children's health, agenda item 12, an act concerning children's safety, and agenda item 13, an act concerning children's welfare. Representative Linehan,
Representative Linehan votes yes.
Senator Marr,
Senator Marr votes yes.
Representative Kit,
Representative Kit votes yes.
Senator Kushner, Representative Dauphiné,
Rep. Dauphiné votes no.
Senator Seminara,
Senator Seminara votes no based on it's a placeholder bills. Thank you, or placeholder concepts.
Senator Anwar, Representative Arnone,
Representative Arnone votes yes.
Representative Boyd,
Boyd, aye.
Senator Cohen,
Senator Cohen votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Representative Comey votes yes.
Representative Hayes,
No.
Representative Lanu,
No.
Representative Mastro Francesco,
No.
Representative Napoli, Representative Pizzuto,
Based on the placeholder, no.
Representative Roberts,
Representative Roberts votes yes.
Representative Sanchez,
Representative Sanchez votes yes.
Representative Welander.
Representative Welander votes yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clerk. As a reminder, votes are open until 3 o'clock. In case you missed a vote or if you wanted to change any of your votes. The last agenda item is the announcement and date of time of next meeting, and that would be Tuesday, February 20th at 1 p.m., where we will once again raise concepts. Thank you all very, very much for being a part of this lively discussion. Go Children's. Thank you. We are adjourned.
No, not adjourned.
Oh, sorry, we're in recess. I didn't hit a gavel. So I think we're going to be fine. We are in recess. Thank you.
Representative Sanchez and Representative Napoli. So we did a voice vote for agenda items 1, 5. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Agenda items 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that was a voice vote. We had agenda item 2. Do you need me to say the concept title?
I have an agenda here in front of me.
Agenda item 2, an act concerning certain flame retardant chemicals and explosive products. Can I get a vote in a yay or nay?
Yes. Yes.
And Representative Sanchez?
Yes.
Agenda item 3, an act concerning child sex abuse material. Representative Napoli
Item 3, yes.
and Representative Sanchez.
Yes.
Agenda item 4, the act establishing a task force. Representative Napoli.
Yes.
Okay. Representative Sanchez.
Yes.
Representative Sanchez, I have you for the rest of the votes, so you're good.
Thank you.
Napoli, I just need you for agenda item 9. I missed you on that one.
Okay. For item 9, yes.
Yes. Then we are all set. You're good.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Senator Anwar.
Hello.
Hey, Christian, sorry about the delay. I apologize. I was in another meeting. I just got off that meeting.
No worries. Let me just check before they go.
Let me pull up the agenda and then I will make sure we are on the same page. I don't see the agenda attached here. Sorry. Somebody did not attach the agenda. I apologize for that. But can you go over the votes for me? I just was able to vote in one of them.
Yep, so I have you for, let me grab an agenda so I can read. I have you for item 3, an act concerning child sex abuse material.
Yeah,
I don't have a vote for that.
I vote for that.
You vote yes for that?
Yes, please.
Okay. And then I don't have you for agenda item 9, an act concerning the recommendations of the Department of Children.
Yeah, I support for that.
Okay. I don't have you for the final 10, 11, 12, 13.
I vote yes for that too, please. You good?
I actually don't have you for number 4, an act requiring childcare centers, group childcare homes, and family childcare homes.
I vote yes for them too, please.
Right, thank you. You're all set. Thank you.
Okay, caught up with it. Thank you so much for your help.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. Oh,
Senator Kushner.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. So I missed you on a, let me just get everything in order.
Yeah, I was chairing the Labor Committee meeting, so I missed all the votes.
Of course. Sure, that was not as exciting as children's though. Um, so I have for, do you need me to read the titles of the concepts?
No, if you just want to read the numbers, whatever is for you.
So I have agenda item 2.
Yes.
Agenda item 4.
Actually, why don't you read the title since you skipped 3?
Okay. Agenda item 2. Okay. Yes. Agenda item 4, an act requiring child care centers, group child care homes, and family child care homes to carry liability insurance.
Yes.
Item number 3, sorry, I'm going a little out of order, I apologize. An act concerning child sex abuse material.
Yes.
And then I have item number 9, which is an act concerning the recommendations of the Department of Children and Families relating to terminology used in certain statutes and identified adoptions.
Yes.
And then the final 10, 11, 12, and 13. Acts concerning child programs, child's health, child safety, and children's welfare.
Yes.
Just double check there. Okay, yeah, we're all set. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah.